You know, I was thinking the other day, as I explore the long-range, best possible world for planet Earth, and noticing how, with the web and YouTube especially, the neighbors have been checking in. They've been checking in, well, last year a little bit, this year almost every day there's 2 or 3 others. And they're available to everybody, but the hit count's not super high. So I had a thought that maybe the way to look at the best possible future for the Earth is to imagine how our neighbors would find us to be in their best possible dreams. So I thought, well, if we can tap into what the prime creators and neighbors have done with their civilizations, that we could then position ourselves as a useful player in that neighborhood, the galaxy especially, and that way not only assure our service to the galaxy in a meaningful way, but also allow those neighbors to be our allies. And if we provide a useful enough resource for the galaxy, they would have an interest in making sure we weren't sort of hijacked by any of the naughty players. And there seem to be a set of sort of bandit cultures in the universe, probably for helping to provoke us all into awakening in some way. That seems to be the hero's journey here. And there's sort of plenty of us going through that experience in a very fast and powerful, if sometimes painful way. At the same time, in the long range, it seems to me that the All, or the Prime Creator, has established a system where souls move from one planet to another, and some are maybe organic planets, but many of them are constructed planets, and many of them have people inside as well as on top. So that, plus the fact that at different dimensions, different things appear. And so thinking through that, I'm soliciting a most valuable type of service this planet could offer. And one amazing conclusion is that despite the fact that we imagine we are one world at some moments, there are so many original, authentic cultures on this planet that we are, rightfully speaking, a library of cultures which, in the right combination, could make a civilization of great value. Some people have used the word living library. So if all of our cultural uniqueness was available in its most pure form, this would be a valuable library for all of the visiting neighbors to come and pick up some clues about how they could include more joy in their lives, more respect for unity, more respect for diversity. And in this case, we would become like a Smithsonian for the galaxy. And when they visited, they could take advantage of that gallery in a way that wouldn't, impede the lives of those living in their own worlds, because we would have audiovisual ways of getting people there, and they would have dimensional ways of going there without being seen anyway. So sort of the whole thing is, let's look at this from a top-down point of view, older cultures and civilizations being sort of the ones who would best qualify us for a really valuable service in the galaxy, and then using their advanced technologies, of course, like they have been. I mean, neutralizing most of our atomic weapons is not anything we want to just sort of put aside as not valuable. They are actually doing that service now, it appears. And so you can have a lot of saber rattling going on around the planet. At the same time, none of those things are going to actually work in the final analysis. So we have this exquisite dramedy, I love that word, dramedy, going on for us, where all the possibilities are available to everyone thanks to the webocracy, which is arguably the best governmental structure we could ever want, as long as we still have a maintenance department, you know. But thought patterns and belief systems should reign supreme everywhere for people to have the best way to experience a life here. So, sort of looking at it from the other end of the spectrum, I see a lot of promise in the fact that we are a polycultural world. We have a absolutely polyversal nature surrounding us with all the loveliest features of a desirable place to be and live. And going forward with those two, you know, stable ideas, I'm recommending that, you know, we could approach this whole idea with much more of a bioregional level of excellence everywhere, with a beautiful kind of support coming, which it could easily do. And it's really nice to imagine how we will be when they come. It's likely that some civilization will appear from inside our Earth and be slightly surprising. But, you know, putting them in a team with Native Americans and other native cultures to help put a task force around our bioregions and build upon watersheds and bring them all back to life in their most valuable and multi-dimensional way. We so often think that we are what is, like we're great because we have big cities with tall buildings. But if you walk through them and the energy fields inside are pale or simple or hard, too much, you know, secondhand smoke and secondhand noise, we really need to see how without nature we can hardly provide nourishing energy fields like we have here in some places in Hawaii, so that people can really feel and live that elevated, beautifully alive sense of life force that's available when we combine things in the right, best possible way. So looking not to whether we should save the old world, but regionalize the new world with interconnections to our neighbors and go forward from there, you know, creating this best possible world. Just some thoughts.